Chrissy Noem, just now out front, echoing the sentiments of many Republican politicians in the wake of Donald Trump's conviction on 34 felony counts, blasting the legal system and alleging that President Biden was involved. He was not. Out front now to respond to Noem's comments, Cedric Richmond, co-chair of the Biden-Harris 2024 campaign, also was a senior advisor in the Biden White House. So Cedric, you were sitting there and you had a chance to listen to Governor Noem. She made the allegation that this was a quote sham trial that was set up to help Democrats win the election. She was very clear about that. What's your response to that?
It's sad. It's sad to see so many Republicans just forfeit their morals and their conscience to please Donald Trump. And I think we see that over and over again. I had the pleasure of serving with the governor in Congress. But now you see that Donald Trump has taken over the Republican Party, and it's all about Donald Trump. And when you look at President Biden, he's more concerned with the American people. And I think that now you see that probably more than ever before.
So a Marist poll that just came out this week shows, and I'm saying obviously it came out before the actual conviction, says 67% of registered voters said that if Trump was convicted, it would make no difference to their vote. 15% said it would make them more likely to vote for Trump, 17% less likely. And we just got the numbers. I don't know if you heard, Cedric, because you probably weren't hooked in yet. But you may have known the numbers last night. They said they raised $34.8 million in a few hours. They're now up to $55 million in small donations in just a few more additional hours. So $55 million raised on the back of this conviction. What kind of effect do you think this conviction is actually going to have on the election?
Well, the best way to get rid of Donald Trump is to beat him at the ballot box. And we're going to continue to say that. We're going to continue to run a campaign focused on the American people and the issues that they face. And with the president, the former president, it's not surprising that his hardcore base doubled down and gave him money because he asked for it. But that is his hardcore base. And I think that when you look at moderate Republicans, you look at independents, I think that this is disqualifying for them. And they were already on the verge anyway. But we will continue to run a campaign based on what the president has been able to do, his vision for the country, his character, his wisdom. And we will point out the alternative. But I think that no matter how hard his advocates and Governor Noem tries to paint the picture of pleasant days when he was in, clearly they forgot the hundreds of thousands of Americans that died, the 54% of schools that were closed when he was in office, the fact that he lost more jobs. He's the second president in history of the United States to lose more jobs than.
But do you worry people put that all on COVID and they say that's COVID and not him?
Well, his response to COVID was incompetent and ridiculous. Remember, he said it'll just go away. He encouraged Americans to drink bleach. We came in the office on the first day, we got vaccines out, and we made sure that we treated it in a responsible way for the pandemic that it was. And we got schools open, we got checks in people's pockets. And we got kids back in school and people back at work.
All right. Well, I would like to ask you a lot more about that because I think there's a lot of complexity over the second Biden set of checks and Trump's and the inflation we're facing now. But Cedric, I want to ask you about something that I played a few moments ago, and I wanted to give you a chance to respond. And the context I want to put around it is, from the most recent polling, we have 23% of Black voters would choose Trump in a two-way race between Trump and Biden. Obviously, that's an incredibly high number relative to historic elections. And Nick Valencia was in Georgia. He was in a swing county. He was, saw a Trump flag, went and knocked on the door. The woman who met him at the door, who lives there, is a Black voter, self-described lifelong Democrat, and she now supports Trump. So we asked her why, and she said this.
You don't care at all that he's a convicted
No, we don't.
felon?
Nope.
Do you understand that some people would say, the justice system worked here?
What justice system?
How concerned are you about sentiments like that?
Well, we have work to do in terms of all demographics, but in the Black community, we have to make sure that we get out, we talk to them, we knock doors, and we communicate that under President Biden, we reduced Black child poverty by 50%, that Black unemployment is an all-time low. Black business startup is at an all-time high. Black wealth is up 60%. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's ever been. But we have to communicate that, and that's what campaigns are for. We'll continue to do it.
Yeah.
Republican obstruction blocked the George Floyd Act, but the president did it with an executive order. They blocked the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. The president did it with an executive order. The Supreme Court blocked student loan forgiveness, but the president did it with his authority. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go out and we're going to make the case for why this president deserves re-election.
All right. Well, Cedric Richmond, I appreciate your time and thank you very much on this Friday. And next, what